Hello everyone. Once again, welcome back to the course of Software Architecture and Design Patterns. This is our fourth video on SADP. This video is brought to you by Newton's Group of Institutions in association with Redefined Solutions. This is Arvind Egireddy from Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And in this video, we will discuss about the architecture and quality attributes. Now coming to the architecture and quality attributes, achieving quality attributes must be considered throughout the design, implementation and development. And no quality attribute is entirely dependent on the design, nor it is entirely dependent on the implementation or deployment. So here, the satisfactory results are a matter of getting the big picture, that is architecture, as well as the details, that is implementation correct. So for example, usability involves both the architecture and non-architectural aspects. And these non-architectural aspects include making the user interface clear and easy to use. Here, my question is, should we provide a radio button or a checkbox? What screen layout is most intuitive? What typeface is more clear? It is even though these details matter tremendously to the end user and influence the usability, but they are not architectural because they belong to the details of the design. However, whether a system provides the user with the ability to the cancel operations or to do undo operations or to reuse the data previously entered is an architectural. So these requirements involve the corresponding and the cooperation of multiple elements. So modifiability is determined by how functionality is divided and by coding techniques within a module. Thus, a system is modifiable if changes involve the fewest possible number of distinct elements. So in spite of having the detailed architecture, however, it is always possible to make a system difficult to modify by writing uncertain code. Here, performance involves both architectural and non-architectural dependencies. So it depends partially on how much computation is necessary among these components, that is architectural, and partially on what functionalities has been allocated to each component, or partially on how shared resources are allocated, or partially on how these are going to influence the choice of the algorithm to implement the selection functionality which is non-architectural, and partially on how these algorithms are coded. So again here, the message of this session is of twofold. One is architecture is critical to the realization of many qualities of interest in a system, and these qualities should be designed in and can be evaluated at the architectural level. And the second one is architecture by itself, which is unable to achieve the qualities, and it provides the foundation for achieving the quality, but this foundation will be to an avail if attention is not paid to the details. So within a complex system, quality attributes can never be achieved in the isolation. So the achievement of any one will have an effect, sometime positive and sometime negative, on the achievement of the others. For example, security and reliability often exist in a state of mutual exclusion. So the most secure system has the fewest points of failure. Typically, we can say a security kernel, and the most reliable system has the most points of failure. So this we can say typically a set of redundant processors or processes where the failure of any one will not cause the entire system to fail. So here another example of the tension between the quality attributes is that almost every quality attribute navigately affects the performance. So here take portability, The main technique for achieving portable software is to isolate the system dependencies, which introduce the overheads into the system's execution. So here typically as processors or procedure boundaries, and this hurt the performance. Now we will examine the following three classes in a tour of quality attributes. One is quality of the system, where we will focus on the availability, modifiability, performance, security, testability, and usability. And the second, business qualities, such as time to market that are being affected by the architecture. And the third one is qualities such as conceptual integrity that are about the architecture itself, although they indirectly affect other qualities such as modifiability. Now coming to quality attributes scenarios. Here a quality attribute scenario is a quality attribute which is specific requirements. So it consists of 6 parts. One is source of stimulus. So here this is some entity that generates the stimulus. Coming to the second one, that is stimulus. The stimulus is a condition that needs to be considered when it arrives at a system. Third one, environment. So the stimulus occurs with certain conditions. The system may be in an overloaded conditions or may be running when the stimulus occurs, or some other conditions may be true. The fourth one is artifact. So here some artifact is stimulated. So this may be the whole system or some pieces of it. And the fifth one is response. So the response is the activity undertaken after the arrival of the stimulus. And the sixth one is response measure. When the responses occur, it should be measurable in some fashion so that the requirement can be tested. So here we distinguish general quality attribute scenarios, those that are system dependent and can potentially pertain to any system, from concrete quality attribute scenarios to those that are specific to a particular system under consideration. So here we present attribute characterizations as a collection of general scenarios. However, to translate the attribute characterization into requirements for a particular system. So here the relevant general scenarios need to be made system specific. So here in this figure we can see the parts of the quality attribute scenarios. Now coming to availability scenarios. So the general scenario for the quality attributes of availability, for example, is shown in this figure. So its 6 parts are shown indicating the range of values they can take. So from this we can derive concrete system specific scenarios. Of course, not every system specific scenario has all of the 6 parts. So the parts that are necessary are the result of the application of the scenario and the types of the testing that will be performed to determine whether the scenario has been achieved. So in the previous slide, the figure shows the availability of general scenarios. An example available scenarios which is been derived from the general scenarios of the previous figure by instantiating each of these parts, that is an unanticipated external message is received by the process during normal operations. So here the process informs the operator of the receipt of the message and continue to operate with no downtime. So this figure shows the pieces of this derived scenario. So here this figure shows the sample availability scenario. So the source of the stimulus is important since different responses may be required depending on what it is. For example, a request from a trusted source may be treated differently from a request from an untrusted source in a security scenario. And this environment may also affect the response, in that an event arriving at a system may be treated differently if the system is already overloaded. So this artifact that it stimulated is less important as a requirement. It is almost always the system, and we explicitly call it out for the two reasons. First, may make assumptions about the internals of the system, or the second one is when we utilize the scenarios within an evaluation or design method. So here we refine the scenario artifacts to be quite explicit about the portion of the system being stimulated. So finally, being explicit about the value of the response is important. So is that the quality attributes requirements are made explicit. Thus, we include the response measure as a portion of the scenario. Now coming to the modifiability scenario. So a sample modifiability scenario is a developer's wish to change the user interface to make a screen background color blue. So these changes will be made to the code at the design time, and it will take less than 3 hours to make the test. The changes and no side effect changes will occur in this behavior. Here this figure illustrates the sample scenario, omitting a few minor details of the brevity. So a collection of concrete scenarios can be used as the quality attribute requirements for the system, and each scenario is concrete enough to be meaningful to the architect, and the details of these responses are meaningful enough so that it is possible to test whether the system has achieved the response or not. So when electing the requirements, we typically organize our discussion on general scenarios by quality attributes. If the same scenario is generated by two different attributes, one can be eliminated. And for each attribute, we present a table that gives all the possible system independent values for each of the 6 parts of the quality scenario. So here a general quality scenario is generated by choosing one value of each element, and a concrete scenario is generated as part of the requirements elucidation by choosing one or more entries from each column of the table and then making the result readable. So that's all for now. Thank you all. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest notifications.